Aloha. I was about to say shukran. Hi, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Aloha. Hokuahana. Thank you so much for joining me. I guess that was coming out early. For some reason, I need to thank you. All right. All right. Some reason. Thank you. Okay. Shukran awi. Shukran awi. Okay. So, today we have a very interesting message, and it's all about the Lotus sign that I saw, and I saw 777 on a black car as well, which means that you're in alignment with a very mysterious time in your life as you are entering into a time that is going to bring new dimensions of success to you. Okay, when we talk about dimensions, we're talking about frequencies. Dimensions are not spatial concepts. That's what the brain is formatted to believe. You're entering into new frequencies of success. Okay, and this is why I'm hearing success is so attracted to you, because of the energy, and I'm hearing literally photons that you emit. Okay, so you were an organism and you're emitting photons, and there is a very clear energy in regards to that, actually, where it's opening up basically new portals of success for you, because you're accessing new vibrational frequencies within you. Okay, and this is assisting when it comes to elevated existences. All right, so what I was being shown was basically March 20th. That's the last time that I saw lotuses really come up, and that was on the spring equinox. So this brings a brand new celestial chapter into your life. This is challenges that you could have been facing within the last season are about to be behind you. Okay, so 20th of March is upcoming, and there is a new season that draws near. This is a new phase of your life that is about to unfold. We're going to take a look at this energy and what that is, but it's going to unfold like petals of a lotus, right? And lotuses also represent the crown chakra, so this is a higher octave of yourself that you're operating in, where you are your higher self in physical form. You are the physical embodiment, your higher self, and because of that, you are looking at life through a different filter of perception, and it's allowing you to tune into things that are being orchestrated for you in ways that the human may not be able to fully understand. You realize that there is a part of you that is guiding you, that kind of goes beyond logic. You know, that's what it feels like. And I'm hearing like you're being led straight into your highest timelines. It does require a level of surrender to see the cosmos within what may appear to be chaotic to the analytical mind, because I feel like you're feeling more than you're like seeing right now, but it's your believing that is going to be seeing. Lotuses represent evolution, because it starts from one vibrational frequency, right, the dark aspects, and then it ends off on a positive note. So I feel like you guys are about to hit like a really high note, maybe after a dark night of the soul, but it is some kind of rebirth that you're going through, because you have this willingness to be able to try again, while the leaf of the pad of the plant represents a solid place from which you can gain stability. So there is something about in rock bottom, in your guys' rock bottom, you have been able to create the most concrete foundation for yourself that is going to, I'm hearing, sustain a legacy that will be built upon. I'm also hearing an empire, okay, and this is all part of your story of polarity and contrast in this realm. And I'm hearing how you can make not just a come up, but again how you can make that comeback to you being a master alchemist. Okay, it's been a tool. I'm hearing it's been a circumstances in your life that has allowed you to unlock this tool. Okay, but yeah, it's very, very interesting. You have this internal stability amongst a forever changing world, all right, that's always shifting. So there's a revitalization happening after a time of trial in your life, and it represents some kind of positive transformation and growth that's upon the horizon, and how you can find again that internal peace amongst the chaos of life. And then I also saw that when I was listening to eggshells, so it does represent some kind of vulnerability. I feel like you're kind of shedding an old aspect of yourself that felt like you had to step around eggshells, but instead you're embracing new opportunities and new beginnings and the potential that you have to grow, okay, and how your life can grow as a result of that. So let's go ahead and see what this is. Let's open up with the Lotus energy. But yeah, we're going to read for the spring equinox. So again, this is the ending of one cycle and the beginning of another. This is like from Pisces moving into Aries season. We have 3-3-3-3, which represents a major growth, and we have pulsar, so this happens very short but quickly. It talks about a short and intense trip. So this is like a huge roller coaster of energy that you're going to be riding. Okay, I'm also hearing like a huge momentum, so there's a huge momentum that's going to be picking up for you. We'll see what this is. Let's take a look at 3. Gratitude. So this is a good time to be grateful for what there is. Okay, so yeah, gratitude is going to give you more things to be grateful for, especially if you want to achieve, you want to grow, move, do, change, create, leave, have, act on. This is positive when it works as a driving force for being. The hunt for growth and transmutation is one of our key passions as a human race. So conflict arises when the mind acknowledges this behavior and decides to whisper in our ear. What started as motivation and as a lovely romantic comedy changes halfway through to a more likely of a thriller movie. So there is something around the mind is fearful, but your heart is gently guiding you towards your chosen destination. And again, there is going to be a part of you that is guiding you in a way that transcends the analytical mind. And yeah, a lot of the things I'm also hearing that are about to happen in your life can only be explained as divine orchestration. I'm also hearing like spontaneous emissary. So this is like an abrupt change that happens. Okay, this is like an abrupt change. Gratitude is not just a beautiful word, but it's a powerful energy which opens the way to other dimensions akin to our being. So again, you guys are aligning with new literally vibrational experiences and frequencies and new dimensions, right? New frequencies where new stories can begin to play out that are in resonance with this highest octave of yourself. Okay, it's like you're navigating life on earth as your higher self, right? You guys are looking at obstacles on earth as your higher self. You're seeing them as an opportunity, because every obstacle or adversity has an equivalent seed of opportunity if you choose to see it as that. And I feel like it's an opportunity or invitation to reinforce with your actions everything that you have learned to date, right? So it talks about it's through gratitude at the present time that the spiritual dimension of life opens up. Being grateful is to recognize and make space for what we appreciate in our lives and not take it for granted. And it represents the highest vibration that there is. So again, you're operating in this eternal gratefulness, and the simplicity is greatness. Okay, so there's something around this is a very simple energy that you're basically coming back to. Okay, let's see what you're going to be in alignment with as a result of this. Let's open up with an oracle message. Tell me about 3-3-3-3. I mean, like, yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, anyway, indecision and journey. So this is where you're at crossroads when it comes to some type of major pivot in your life. And honestly, with indecision, one of these paths are familiar to you, but there is no more room to grow. At least it doesn't support this next stage in your evolutionary growth. Like, it's just, I'm hearing it doesn't hold like the capacity. Again, it's just not like a highly conducive environment to hold all that you have become. So there is something about you literally needing to enter into a new realm. And this could be people that you surround yourself with, circumstances that you surround yourself with, but there are things that no longer serve a purpose in your life, but has served a purpose. So there's a need to kind of make room to receive more during this time by releasing basically what is no longer supportive for you. Okay, now with indecision, there's another path that is unfamiliar, and everything that this person has ever wanted is on that path that they have not yet tread down. And with journey, this could be a physical journey. It does represent either like a physical relocation. One of these paths requires more vulnerability, but everything that this person has ever wanted is on the other side from what they have once done before. Okay, so I feel like your future self is thanking you with this. Okay, but yeah, pack your bags. The journey card foretells upcoming travel or a shift in location. It may be as simple as a vacation, a retreat, a class, or even a work-related trip. I'm hearing maybe even all three. This card could also be a signal for a move of residence or a job relocation. The upright position indicates that the plan should go off without a hitch. Still be clear about your motivations and mindful of logistics. All of life is a journey, and this is telling you that you have some exciting and inspiring adventures ahead. So again, your life is a blessing and it's taking you to new places inside and out. Okay, so vulnerability is the only bridge to connection, and you can see this person is literally, they're putting themselves in a vulnerable decision. They're taking the less traveled road, right? The road that has been less traveled, and as a result they are now crossing that bridge of vulnerability that is literally connecting them to new networks, new timelines, and new octaves of existence. All right, so yeah, that's what I'm seeing, right? Okay, very interesting. Let it fall, let it fall. Whatever needs to be released, just let it fall. Okay, right, let's go ahead and see. Let's take a look at a theme around this. Tell me about the theme of the three. Oh, here's the dream of 333. So let's see. Oh, the Hermit and the Cosmic Tree. Okay, so the Hermit is number 9. It's where, basically number 9 is where you lift the human condition. And we're in numerical 9 as well. So I feel like this is an initiation into numerical 9, because this is the beginning of like a cosmic reset that we're having even astrologically. So there are a lot of supporting factors when it comes to other energetic planetary alignments where I feel like the stars are literally aligning in your favor. This is where the human condition lifts and you begin to look at life through the eyes of the soul, and your non-physical aspect of yourself is going to be guiding you in the physical. That's what's coming through. With Cosmic Tree as well, this is like a network that I feel like is hidden. The Hermit does represent a solo journey that you could be embarking on. At the base we have the garden chimes and water song, so it definitely does give me messages that you're going to be receiving. This is almost like air and water elements, so I do feel like these could be strong, yeah, like thoughts, right? I was like air, so it's like bioelectricity. I'm hearing like electrical currents. Okay, these are going to be things that are going to be constantly reinforced. Your soul and your heart is going to be constantly reinforcing this knowing to you, all right, that it's time to embark on this. I feel like this is something that you really can't avoid. Otherwise I'm hearing it really, again, there is no right or wrong path with this, but there is a path that is more supportive to the soul's highest expansion. And I feel like you're going to be met with this fated choice point for you. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and read the Hermit and the Cosmic Tree network and see what comes up here. Any additional messages? But yeah, he's embarking on this journey in solitude, right? All right, let's see. This talks about searching within, solitude, self-expression, and reaffirming. So this is a search of inner truth, okay? The Hermit does not retreat into the woods without the expectation of self-exploration. And the woods in the metaphysical realm literally represent that. It represents like you going on this spiritual journey, right? This spiritual exploration. When a vision of the Cosmic Tree comes to the Hermit, they are met with the understanding of the greatness of existence. If you cannot find the answers you've been looking for, look within. So this is a journey that is really unlocking a new, I'm hearing aspect, a new facet, a new frequency and dimension within yourself, right? I'm hearing like a new density as well that you're going to be working with. And it's very high vibrational, simply because it's very detached in this existence. It doesn't attach to familiarity. There's a part of you that is untouched by time. There's a part of you that is unaffected by the transitions that you will go through, where it feels like you're constantly losing aspects of who you thought you were to recover all that you've ever been. That's definitely what it feels like. But there is like a journey that you're going to be super grateful that you do go on. And again, I do get a strong energy of your future self thanks you for this. With Cosmic Tree as well, I do feel like there's strong networks that are coming through. Let's go ahead and read some of this to you. And again, this is like a major arcana card. So this is going to be a piece that makes up the bigger picture of your life, right? It's going to tell more of a cohesive story. The cosmic tree talks about reaffirming inner truth. It says, this comes up in a reading to offer guidance through the collective unconscious. Take this as a positive affirmation that the path you're on is the right one, and that in contemplation comes understanding and growth. Trust that the truth that you seek is buried within, and it's in the fibers of your own being. Understand that knowing your inner truth may require isolation. Spend time with yourself in the quiet. There is a seed that needs nurturing. There is something that you're going to be nurturing. And again, with the 777, it shows that you're in alignment, okay? But it represents some kind of introspection. And the number 7 as well, life path, that's what it kind of reminds me of, where there is a lot of introspection, where they realize life is really not a race, it's more of a marathon. No matter how long it takes them, they always end up finding that why, when it comes to remembering their why, not just when they had incarnated into the physical vessel, but remembering what it is that they had intended to experience while in this physical dimension. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. And with eggshells, let's go ahead and see what eggshells is. But yeah, this is a new phase of your life that's unfolding, like petal by petal. Eggshells is dark energy. So what you feel like you're stepping around eggshells is the unknown. Geocentric model talks about this is more of a fear of the ego. Like, this is not a fear of your true self. Like, your true self has no fear, for it realizes that and recognizes and can see everything has already worked out for you. This is more of the wounded ego, where the ego really likes control and it loves, again, power. And this is where your power of love that you have for the soul's journey overcomes the fear for the ego. This is where you dissolve that fear with love. You transmute that fear with love. And yeah, it's very, very interesting. Well, let's go ahead and read dark energy. It just basically talks about the unknown and you moving into a mysterious phase in your life. So maybe you feel like there's a path that, again, is unknown, but it requires you to make friends with that unknown. It talks about undiscovered potential, the mystery. So the ego usually has, like, again, a huge limitation, and it's usually their belief systems that keep them limited, that they mark that the ego can mark its life as those zones of safe versus unsafe. And there's something about kind of opening up to that being an inverted truth in an attempt to keep yourself safe, which is a mode of survival. There's something about realizing that in order to be places that you haven't gone before, and to go to places that, again, you have not yet experienced, it requires you to do things that you haven't done, right? In order to become a version of yourself that you haven't yet embodied, it requires you to embody that in the now, okay? So it talks about dark energy is the most prevalent in the universe and is of unknown origin. It's the darkness where we find our most valued talents, passions, and motivations. There's something that you're recovering within the darkness with the hermit, right? He embarks on this journey, and you can even see with the hermit, right, that is the bridge to vulnerability that actually connects him with these new timelines, connects him with these new potentials within himself. So there is something that you have to take action on. It shows that the ego may say, okay, no, this is your full potential, and it may try to convince you of that, right? This is all it is right here, right now. But there's so much more of yourself that is about to unfold. And I'm hearing, like, literally whether you like it or not. Synchronous rotation as well, right behind that, talks about the dark side of the moon, those who do not want to be seen and those who do not want to be shown, and those who do not want to see. And then you have Big Bang even underneath that. So there is like a huge, almost, yeah, ego dissolving moment in the way that you're no longer having fear run the show. You know, it's like you're no longer operating in survival, but you're operating based on like a new thrival guide that you're receiving. So what if you are being a certain version of yourself, thinking that it's all of your potential? What if there is a lot more to discover by turning a flashlight on? There is much more to discover, and your awareness of how the ego operates and in its attempts to make, you know, again, you feel safe. That's its primary function. You know, when we talk about like the amygdala response, right, and operating for survival, that's a very limited filter perception, but you are able to kind of again, you're a multi-dimensional being, so you can acknowledge the fear that's there, and you can also come back to a higher, broader, universal truth. And your flashlight is your awareness of yourself. It is your awareness of your ego, and realizing that eventually that voice becomes no more than, you know, again, background noise in a coffee shop. That's really what it is. So there is something about, again, your awareness is going to be your torch. I mean, you even have the torch here, right? Spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. And your torch is going to light the way forward. And even with the hermit carries an 8-pointed star seed, and it basically illuminates his path forward, at least the first few steps. He cannot see the full extent of his journey. However, his wisdom that he's accumulated from his past experiences and the awareness of himself and how he's been able to come back to himself despite trials and tribulations that he's experienced, all right, or faced on his journey. He sees it as being part of the journey and part of the journey back to himself and his infinite potential, and realizing that the resistance gave him an opportunity to grow, you know, on a soul level. And he's trusting that he can walk this next phase. He can walk through the woods, and he proves to himself that's possible. So I feel like there's something that you're kind of proving to the physical realm, you're proving to the ego. That's what it kind of gives me, but you're distinguishing the difference, right? You're not mistaking yourself for those thoughts or those belief systems. That belongs to a very small, conditioned, you know, part of yourself, which is literally made up of the selection of choices that your ancestors had made, right? It's made up of survival and fear, and you're showing a higher expression. It's like you're literally transmuting and dissolving that fear with love. That's what this is. Okay. Yeah, super interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and clarify then. Tell me about this dark energy. Six of Embers. You guys are literally being led towards some type of this is something that you're going to feel so proud of, first of all, right? But also others are going to recognize you for this. Six of Embers is like recognition that you gain, even on a public scale, right? I'm hearing like on a global scale with Six of Embers. It's like a Six of Wands energy. So it's somebody that has done something that has paid off. It's where they are triumphant after tribulations. It's where they go through a Five of Wands, which is a lot of resistance, maybe even internal struggles within themselves. But then they end up coming out on top, right? So there is something about, again, the resistance is something that has allowed you to grow. We'll go ahead and read this interpretation with the Six of Embers here. And again, this is fire energy, right? So it's that alchemical point. So Six of Wands talks about self-confidence, appreciation, minor success, and small victories. A hooded figure sets sail on a small boat as 6 blazing suns light up the sky. The Six of Wands and the Embers offer a moment of appreciation. This is a card of small victories. You may not be at the finish line, but you have achieved something that is worth celebrating. It's important to take notice of your successes along the way. You may be burnt before you get to the end. So there's something about focus on every time you're able to kind of I'm hearing usher the harsh internal critic out of the door, and I'm hearing like you're not just ushering it out of the door. It's not that you're suppressing this aspect of self, right? I want to make that very clear. There is something about when I say you're ushering them out of the door, I'm seeing you open the door into like infinite potentials, and you're showing the ego all that there could be, and you're saying, you know, it requires surrender. Let us lead the way, because this is what we're leading you towards. Do you see that? Do you see what we're seeing? There is something around that. It's like you're alchemizing that energy. You're, instead of feeling like you have to brace for the dark energy and brace for the unknown, you actually begin to embrace it in that moment, right? Especially with Six of Wands. So every time you guys embrace the unknown on your journey of life with the boat, you actually begin to become more empowered. You actually begin to make friends with the ego. And that's what this is. That's what full integration is. That's where you can support your desires in the physical realm by following through with things with this sense of empowerment, right? Realizing that everything is going to work out for you in ways that you can not maybe see right now, but you have this vision and this feeling that something new does await you. And yeah, it's a very beautiful energy, and it's almost like, again, it's this knowing. All right, let's go and see what else comes through as well. I want to see what you're being aligned with. So let's go and take a look at that. What are you being aligned with that hermit's journey? What awaits the hermit? And that's what you're discovering. That's what you guys are discovering every time you do that, the telescope. So we have the telescope. This represents something that you're going to be unveiling. Okay, let's go ahead and read this. It's a very interesting energy. The telescope, we opened it right on the T's. Intuition, making, zooming in, increased vision. So yeah, you guys are definitely going to be tuning into, again, filtering in and out of these infinite fractals of yourself, and you're realizing that fear is just one perception that you can view reality through, but there's so many others that you can attune into. And this is where you begin to look at life through the eyes of the soul, essentially. Again, your multi-sensory perception system, your increased vision. So you're able to see all aspects of yourself and hold space for them, right? Holding space for that fear and showing it another way. So we are a part of a channel that goes both up and down. There's something about also acknowledging that fearful part. It's so important, you know, like not suppressing or oppressing or rejecting it, or feeling like just because there's fear, there is shame that has to be felt there. You know, it's almost like acknowledge the ego in that way, acknowledge the fear and say, hey, I know that you're scared, but we're going to show you something beautiful. This is about loving yourself into that change, right? Anyway, a microscope and a telescope are tools which prevent us from missing out of the micro and macro. Yeah, you cannot heal what you reject feeling, and there's something about feeling that fear and then choosing to feel something different, and that is the process of alchemy, right? Differentiated ranges of bandwidths of frequency light, and being able to move from those slower oscillations into higher octaves, right? So when they are not necessary for our cosmic consciousness, because I'm literally seeing, it's hard to explain, but I'm literally seeing like a slow, dense oscillation that happens when your organism is operating based off of fear. That's a biological charge, right? It's like you become very suppressed. You can even have analysis paralysis, right? Where you're not able to take action towards things. You're very, very tense and contracted. And then I'm seeing somebody be able to alchemize that with love, and they step into this fluidity. They step more into their non-physical aspect. They step more into their infinite potential. They step back into everything that they've ever been, you know. That's what's coming through very, very strongly, and they move as one. Okay, anyway, source begins to experience itself not just as them but also through them, you know. But it requires surrender. So however, we can achieve cosmic consciousness without the need for external objects. The telescope refers to the object that we are all aware of, a tool that allows us to see farther than the human eye can, right? In order to capture the display of celestial bodies, the card refers to our inner telescope, the mental power to see beyond what our eyes are able to. So again, like the ego, right, the physical vessel, the dimensionally limited avatar that your higher self has incarnated into has certain limitations, but your true self doesn't. And again, the physical eye can only see 1% of the light spectrum, but there's so much more that's happening in these higher bandwidths of frequency light, right? These other dimensions, these other frequencies that you cannot see yet, these other realms, these other veils. There's so much that's happening, you know, behind the veil that you can foresee. So trust what you're foreseeing, the mental power to see beyond what our eyes are able to. We know that there are planets out there that we are able to see thanks to the telescope. We know that there are energies around us, and if we use our inner telescope effectively, we will be able to see them too. So how are you tuning into this, you know, layer of reality? If you actually activate your third eye there, your multi-sensory perception system, you can attune into a complete different layer of reality. Are you lucid in the dream? Are you allowing your heart to lucidly guide you towards your chosen destination? You know, or are you rejecting that experience? Are you resisting that experience? It's a very interesting energy, isn't it? Let's get one more with telescope. Are you seeing things from a linear construct, or are you seeing yourself as a quantum being? Because your third eye is a quantum technology, so is your heart chakra, right? This is like picking up on things that are happening beyond what it is that your physical can see. Don't mistake yourself for the physical. Learn to work with it, right? I'm hearing teach it how to work with you. Ooh, that's different now, isn't it? Teach the ego in the physical vessel to work with you. Don't feel like you're working with your higher self. You are your higher self. Allow the tool that you're utilizing to navigate this realm, to integrate with you. Now we have Seven of Wands, okay? So this is something with Seven of Wands, this is literally, this is imperative. This is like the new survival guide, if you will, when navigating this cosmic overlay from this high level of awareness. This talks about self-preservation. And here there is almost like this book of secrets, you know, this is like the book of secrets that's being lit up. It kind of looks like it's opening up a, you know, some kind of stargate to the Akashic records. It's like you're tuning into infinite potential, right? Infinite possibilities when you do this. It starts as nothing. This is what the ego sees, right? Use that telescope. Let's activate the third eye now, right? Boom. This is what you're able to see now. You're seeing what was previously invisible. It's not that you can't see what everyone else can, right? It's like, this is what the human sees, right? You also can see what other humans can see. But you're a multi-dimensional being, right? Which is what I love about this deck, right? Because now you're tuning into a layer that not everybody else can see, okay? That's what's coming through. Let me just visualize this one more time for you. That's what it is. Use the telescope and boom. Look at life through the eyes of the soul. The eyes of the human, the eyes of the soul. The eyes of the human, the eyes of the soul, okay? Right, I'm going to, because you're always, again, you're always filtering through these. Learn how to work with your multidimensional nature. You are a multidimensional being. Earth, star, chakra, we love it. Anchoring, grounded, action, right? Isis energy. So this is the higher self. This is the divine feminine, right? Okay, let's go ahead and read this. And this Lemurian seed crystal is the magnetite crystal within the brain, right? The electromagnetic field is the connection that you have with the earth, okay? Let's go ahead and read this. Where you're able to attune, I'm hearing, into the subtle hints of reality. Let's go ahead and read Earth Star. I love this card. Okay, so this talks about the goddess Isis. She has sacred magic and mysteries, and this is where you find your tools, your gifts, and your skills that the ancients used to connect with the earth and her wisdom. The Egyptian goddess Isis appeared on this card as our spiritual guide. She is a high priestess of the stars who knows the importance of connecting with the underworld to stay grounded, aware, and manifest all that she needs to grow. This talks about basically wisdom that has been pushed down in both this incarnation and previous lifetimes. These tools could be helpful in the next phase of your journey. When you draw this card, know that your Earth Star has been activated and the wisdom you once ignored is finally being acknowledged. The rejected parts of yourself have now been rediscovered. There is an opportunity for you to rediscover that magic too. There is something about like a deep wound of the divine feminine, okay? Because this even came up in my last astral travel that has been suppressed, right? Feeling shame, right? Made to be feeling shame, or like you're going to be prosecuted for having this connection that is something that you can't really expect everyone to understand in a realm full of contrast. You can't talk to a whale frog about the ocean, for he's bound by the conditions of his environment, right? This is about mentality. You can't talk to a winter insect about the summer, for he's bound by a single season. Just understand that. It's a time to understand yourself and all of yourself rather than to be understood. And don't allow your emotional state or how much harmony you feel within to be dependent or reliant on having other people see you that at this stage are not capable of seeing all of themselves. Not just looking at themselves, but really seeing yourself beyond the physical, beyond the form. So stay firmly rooted in all of your endeavors. Let the earth hold and sustain you. Don't rush ahead. In fact, if you've been wondering if it's time to move forward, know that it isn't. Stay put. For the time being, important information is being revealed. So wait and stand strong. This is a time of integration rather than to push forward. Great wisdom lies within you. Dive deep and find it, and trust in yourself. You have more strength than you realize. I'm gonna leave it there. I don't think we need to see any more. That's all we need to talk about. We'll close out with 2 messages from the Starseed Oracle message, and that will be it. Your life is a canvas, right? All of these small intricate details are telling a much larger cohesive story, okay? And creative accountability, artist manifestation. I love this because it's taking creative accountability. What becomes the story of your life and does not become is solely based on your action, okay? And also what you do not act on. Your action has a reaction, your cause has an effect. Your life is nothing more than the effect of your own cause. Wait, it's not yet time. Things are being woven here at the base. So there could be things that you're waiting to act upon. Again, take creative accountability. Really take a creative accountability for your life. Every single thing in your life, it's based off of resonance, you know? It's based off of where your belief systems that you've mistaken yourself as become, again, a limit. They become a cap on your infinite potential. It kind of blocks how your infinite potential moves through you and into this realm. We have 𝓻𝓮𝓪𝓷𝓼𝓬𝓮, say yes to change, okay? Say yes to change. You guys are being supported with Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms in ways that you can't look at, but you can see, right? Okay, I love any of you guys right there. If you're not already subscribed to this channel or want to stick around for future reads, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details also down below. If you want to join our Discord server, feel free as well. The link is also down below. We'd love to have you there. And also check out Otter Spirit bracelets if you guys are looking for some beautiful A grade jewelry for all of your manifestation needs. And I will see you guys very soon. Until next time, bye.